What's up everyone, this is UnrivaledSkyrim, and today I'll be doing this Total War Rome 2 battle replay. I was playing as Rome, and my opponent, Go Gators 09 Chomp, was playing as Egypt. And a very interesting thing, I am a huge Florida Gators fan. That is the University of Florida, down south in Gainesville, Florida. I've been a Gators fan my whole entire life. That means football, basketball, baseball, everything. All the athletics of that university. And so very interesting. We had something very much in common. This guy was a Gator fan indeed. So we had a very good battle, and well, I thought it was very good, and able to chat with him about Gator athletics. But let's go ahead and get into it. Battle of Ilerda. I don't know how to pronounce that. Interesting map. There's a road in between, and there's some high ground on his side. I will have to fight uphill, so let's see how I kind of deal with that. There you can see both our army deployments. He's got a bunch of carrying axemen, thorax swords, some Thurio spears, some Egyptian cav. I think his general is in Royal Peltest. But here's my army set up, very simple. 6 veteran legionnaires. They will act as my front line. I have a back line of 3 Hastati units. They will be my reserves. I have 2 Socii Equites on both wings, so 4 of them in total. 3 Syrian archers. My general's in the Legatus, and I have a Socii Equite Extraordinary unit for a reserve shot cav. So going into this match, I thought I was going to be facing some either elephants or side chariots, but after seeing his initial army and deployment, I didn't see any side chariots, and I thought, well, this has got to be his whole entire army. Look at all those thorax swords, and plus he put some upgrades on all his thorax swords. This unit, he put these 3, he put 2. So he's really gonna have to be confident with his thorax swords, make them cost effective. Going up against Roman infantry, it's gonna be very difficult for him. His melee tech, even with upgrades, is only 42 on those with 2 chevrons, and on my regular veteran legionnaires I have a 59 melee attack, and I think I have a better weapon damage, but I think thorax swords for some reason have a better charge bonus, 18. Yeah, they have a veteran legionnaires only have 15. So for the most part, my legionnaires are still better than his, even with his upgrades. But I don't really want to go ahead of him uphill. He does have this high ground. If I were him, I would have put my guys within this vicinity on this hill, or better yet, even on this hill. I don't really mind if someone camps the hill. Even if they do start nearby, it just gives me more of a challenge to get around it. So instead of going straight for him, I see this high ground over here, and I'm going to try to take it. That's always what I do in the Total War series. I don't like to go straight at my opponent all the time. I like to get find a height advantage, not a height advantage, but just a terrain advantage, and try to use that in towards my advantage. So he's really playing defensively. He only has 3 Egyptian slingers compared to my archers, so I do have a better skirmish capability than him. Overall, I had the better army. My infantry is better, even though he has more. He does have he has 2 Thurio spears to support his cav, and he does have a backline of carrying axemen and a Royal Peltest general. So he does have more infantry than I do. Not too much more. We are equal in cav, but 2 of his cav are only skirmisher cav, so their capabilities will be very limited. And here you see I'm kind of splitting my forces. I'm going to use half of my veteran legionnaires and some of my units to act as a fixing force, while I kind of leap around with half of my force and go towards the left. Best case, I get this high ground over here and then attack him from this direction. But here he is shooting at some of my men, so I do form testudo with my legionnaires. Might as well. This is something I rarely do, but I thought, well, infantry isn't very close to me, so I don't have to worry about him charging my guys into pseudo formation. I just did that to just to minimize any casualties that I get from his slingers. He is going to auto fire, not auto fire, mass fire his guys into this veteran legionnaire, I think, and he is going to take a lot of casualties, relatively a lot of casualties eventually. But I was kind of happy with him shooting at my legionnaires. He can do so. He's going to waste a lot of ammunition. It's going to take a lot of ammunition to take out all these guys. They have good armor and shield strength, so I don't have to worry about those guys dying anytime soon. Let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Yeah, for the most part, he's playing defensively. I probably could have just charged him straight ahead because I do have the better army, even if he does have a height advantage. I just didn't want my guys to get bogged down fighting uphill, and then he has reinforcements hurling javelins at me, and I want to make sure I would have had a height advantage. That's all I was going for in this battle, because look at this. If I charged up here, that would have been relatively steep for my men in the center. But over here, I'm continuing my leaping to the left. As you see, I have these units kind of acting as a fixing force while I go around to the left. In most competitive multiplayer battles, you don't have this time to maneuver, but this is just a quick battle, more casual. You do have the time to maneuver. In competitive, you just see both players just charge each other with their units spread out, and just see who can out micromanage the other. But in this case, it's not so much micromanagement, it's going to be terrain advantage and timing. Although I do have the better army. And here, this is when, I'm going to go slow motion. This is when I'm going to just charge his units. I saw him going to try to kite backwards. I'm like, no, I want this engagement right here. So I'm going to go ahead and charge my calves straight into these guys over here. His guys are unbraced and to the side, and my Socii Equites are going to get a relatively good charge down. Not the best charge, but it's pretty good. That's going to actually hold up a whole bunch of his units. He is opening fire with some skirmisher cav, but here I'm going to allow myself to kind of catch a whole bunch of his units with some veteran legionnaires. I do have some more units to support. I have this Hastati coming around, and I had 2 more veteran legionnaires charging. I was trying to bring forward all these, the rest of my veteran legionnaires. I was kind of slow to bring up the rest of my units, my archers and my back line of cav and my general and that Hastati. But this Hastati is going to discharge their Pila upon this Egyptian slinger, get a lot of kills on those guys. And he is trying to kite backwards. Good thing for him, because I think if he would just stuck around, he would have lost right then and there. But here, I did manage to catch his cav on the right flank, his left. I didn't do the best job of charging. I kind of got this Socii Equite behind my first one. It would have been better if I would have been able to get that second one around. And here I'm going to do pretty much the same thing with this veteran legionnaire. I'm going to just blob it up. That's something for me to learn, is it would have been better for me to get a unit around and attack from the side, but that's why I'm bringing forward this this Socii Extraordinaire. I saw an opening, and I'm going to go ahead and recharge that mass of units. I did have a charge order on these 2 units of infantry, but I'm going to stop them. I'm going to go ahead and bring my archers up on this hill, and they're going to actually start taking shots on this thorax swordsman. And I don't have them on heavy shot yet. And I picked this unit to fire because the angle that I was taking was kind of, it wasn't quite on their non-shielded side, but it kind of was. So I'm going to get a pretty good amount of kills. His cav over here is pretty much dead. I did take some casualties with my cav, but overall I did win that engagement. I'm going to go ahead and retreat. He was firing javelins and I think slinger fire as well. So over here my archers are pretty much decimating this thorax swords, and that's going to force him to seek an engagement. If I were him, I think I would have backed up even more, because he is going to have to charge uphill towards me now because he kited backwards. He might as well have just kept on kiting backwards and just let me fight him over here instead of just charging me up on the hill when he could have had it in the first place. So here I get a pretty good Pila exchange, and my guys are going to be fighting downhill compared to his. Over here we have an exchange. So here's the situation. He does have a back line of carrying axemen, but I'm going to find some gaps within his units, and I'm going to rear charge the Sociai Equite into these thorax swords. I do have units in reserve. These two units are pretty much depleted from a lot of missile fire. They're only getting 40 kills, and they're going up against relatively healthy units of thorax swords. Here I just destroyed that skirmisher cav. That's going to allow me to... I think he doesn't have any cav anymore. The Sociai Equite is pretty much free to charge his backlines. All my cav are. I did lose this unit in the center, but that's not too bad because I had this Hastati unit ready to countercharge and hold the center. And I'm bringing up my general. I tried to use presence to get this veteran legionnaire back into battle, but they're shattered. They're not coming back. They did their part though, for the most part, I guess. So here's the situation. He doesn't have any more cav. He's carrying axemen. Although they do fire javelins, they're getting a pretty good amount of kills. They're just not going to be able to get them quick enough. He wasn't able to protect his Egyptian slingers, which effectively weren't very cost effective in this battle. I think if he could have brought an art like Nubian bowman, I think would have been better in this situation. So here my Hastati had defeated those thorax swords, and now they're going to be able to rear charge this unit over here, although they are taking a lot of carry and axemen fire. So that's why I'm going to counter charge and take out these guys down here. And I am now focusing fire with heavy shot on his general, and I was able to get some charges on his general, so he's taking a lot of casualties. So it's very chaotic right here. I was able to take the high ground and charge him downhill. If I were him, I would have kept on going backwards over here, where it would have been more suited towards him, but he decided to charge me after I pretty much captured the hill, after he had retreated. If you're going to retreat to some place where you are going to have an advantage. Might as well. Oh, over here I didn't show it, but these guys charged, and at the same time I shot a volley with my my archers, and they pretty much killed that cav unit, but at the same time killed that Royal Peltis. But here he admitted defeat, or his guys just shattered. Let's take a look at the statistics. It says close victory, but I think it wasn't even close for the most part. I mean, he did kill a lot of my cav, some of my infantry units. But let's take a look at some statistics. Looks like my archers did relatively well, especially these two units. My infantry were a lot better than his. See, this unit, veteran legionnaires, only got 42 kills, but probably didn't see that much fighting. So overall, this Hastati unit just did wonderful. 119 kills, got 2 experienced chevrons in the process, and this unit of Sociai Equite probably got into his skirmishers, so that's why he got over 150 kills. His general maybe got some kills with javelins, but for the most part was not effective. His cav just couldn't hold up to mine. His slingers weren't able to get a lot of kills on my, he was focusing fire on my heavily armored and good shield strength veteran legionnaire. Slingers are better suited towards taking shots on other skirmishers, especially horse archers, or units that are depleted with a lot of HP damage. Carrying axemen can be effective, I think, but not in this case. He wasn't able to because I kept on kind of rear charging them with my cav. They weren't able to focus fire. I think if they carrying X-Men get a chance to focus fire their javelins on specific units that are already engaged and taking HP damage in melee combat, they will be a very effective backline unit. But in this case, he was not able to do so. Thorax swords really stood no chance against my veteran legionnaires. They're just overall very. I guess I would say they are very bad mid-tier swordsmen because they just get beat by pretty much anything that, let's say, the Rome or Boei or I was going to say the Tribali. They're not even playable multiplayer. Tillis, some factions like that. Thorax swords, you might as well not even bring them, honestly. Dorio spears, I was able to charge them, or I think this unit got attacked by one of my veteran legionnaires. But overall, good game, and I was glad to see I'm not the only Gator fan playing Total War Rome 2. So once again, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Unrivaled Skyrim, and see y'all later. Peace.